welcome back to Clean with Kate. It's quite early in the morning, it's just getting light. I've woken up early, I've got quite a bit of ironing to do, so I've decided to see how I get on, tackle it just for 15 minutes. I need to start by dealing with the clothes on the area though, so I'm just gonna, do I count that as part of my 15 minutes? I think I will. If I do these ones, these are quite a little damp still, so they'd be much easier to iron. So I'm just going to start by quickly getting the things off the area that I want to iron. I might do that skirt first. That skirt actually looks like it's going to be quite hard work. That's a new to me skirt that I bought recently in a charity shop. It's a really pretty floral skirt and I've really enjoyed wearing it, but it hasn't actually gone through the wash particularly well. It wasn't expensive. I think it was £2.95 in the charity shop, but it isn't a particularly good make. It's a Primark skirt, but I love the fabric. I love the pattern. I thought it was so pretty. So we'll have to see how it irons. It's looking a bit scruffy now. It's gone through the wash, so that's not necessarily a good sign. But we'll see. I've got a couple of hoodies that I need to just quickly run the iron over. They're not actually that bad. Pop them in there. I don't really like ironing these hoodies. They've got man-made fibres in them and you have to be really careful not to burn them. I've just reminded myself, probably should switch the iron on. Oh, and a pair of pyjamas. A pair of my husband's pyjamas. So now I've got a nice empty area, which is a good start. So all these, I'm hoping to get all these ironed in 15 minutes. Anyway, wish me luck. Right, whoops, I'm going to move the underwear over here so it can dry a bit more. Right, I've got a nice empty area. Oh my goodness, that's already taken me 1.5 minutes. Right, first things first, let's get the iron sorted out. Should have really done that before I started. So I'm just going to pop some water in my iron. How did I forget that crucial step to switch the iron on and fill the iron with water? So let's pop some water in the iron. I did remember to empty it last time, so it should be nice and clean. And usually that little jug will do me for 15 minutes of ironing. I've got a coffee, I've got a glass of water. Now I've just got to wait for the iron to heat up. I'll have a sip of my coffee while I'm waiting. I might do the sweatshirts first actually, because I don't really want them on too hot an iron. Whereas those are cotton, I think they'll iron okay. So let's get the sweatshirts ready because they don't need a lot of ironing. In fact, I'm not sure. Does that one need ironing at all? Probably not, to be fair. It looks okay. In fact, first thing done, I'm not going to iron that one at all. Let's put it back on the area. Right, this one's still quite damp. So this would definitely benefit from a quick iron. If you iron when the clothes are still a little bit damp, as I'm doing this morning, then it should be a lot easier. Has the iron come on? Yes, it has. Right. So I'm just going to quickly, there's less chance of me burning it as well, quickly run the iron over this. That'll probably help to dry it. I don't need to use any steam. Right. Anyway, how are you this morning? Are you keeping on top of your laundry this month? How long have you been doing the Fly Lady system? Are you doing the baby steps or are you fully engrossed in it? Are you doing the Fly Lady system at all? Have you ever heard of it? I'm a big fan. I've been doing it for a long time now, and it really does help to keep me keep on top of my household work chores. And in the month of August, the focus is on laundry. I'm pretty good with my laundry, and the bit that I was struggling with was my ironing. I used to find that my ironing pile piled up to the point that it just became overwhelming, and it's only in the last probably 12 months or so that I've actually got on top of it, where I'm not having to sort of iron for 2 hours. My new since we've done a lot of building work to our house, a part of our building work was that we put in this lovely laundry room. You may have seen my messy laundry room. That was the laundry room I had before we did the extension. But now I have this wonderful, wonderful laundry room, and I can leave my ironing board set up all the time. So that does make it a lot easier. If you have somewhere that you can leave your ironing board set up, ideally in the room that you do the laundry in, but it's not always possible in lots of houses. I'm very lucky to have this incredible laundry room that I can iron in. Before I had this, what I used to do was I'd wait until it got to the point where I had to iron. usually because I wanted something in the ironing basket, or the ironing baskets were all full. And then I would either just put the whole load of laundry away without ironing it, which I did quite often do, or I would iron in front of the telly. I do find that's quite relaxing. So I'd get my ironing board out, put a good film on Netflix or whatever, Amazon, and then I would iron for a couple of hours, or watch a DVD. Oh my goodness, a box set. Oh, I had a lovely time ironing and watching a box set. I think after Sex with the City, I watched the whole box set while I was ironing over a sort of period of several weeks. I really enjoyed that. So if you can make it somehow to a fun activity, or the other thing I find is if I break it down into chunks of 15 minutes and just do it, try and make it a habit. So I try and iron at least a couple of times a week for 15 minutes. Sometimes longer, but quite often just 15 minutes, occasionally even just for 5 minutes. This skirt is proving a challenge. Oh dear, it's such a pretty skirt, but it's not easy to iron. That's the only problem, isn't it? Sometimes it seems like a bargain, but it's hard work to iron. Oh. But you know what, I think it might be worth the effort because it is so pretty. I've just got to work out how to iron this bit inside. Do you know, when I bought it, I don't think it had ever been worn. Or maybe worn, because it was like new. And now I've washed it, and I just put it through a cool wash. It wasn't like it was in a hot wash. It's quite high maintenance, I think. But you know what, it's such a pretty skirt, I think it's worth it. We shall see how I feel when I finished ironing it. It's just the waistband that's awkward, actually. The rest of it's okay. And it's a really nice cool skirt for summer. Plus, because I didn't pay too much for it, it was an absolute bargain. It means I can wear it to do things that I might not want to wear. I have ruined quite a lot of my favourite skirts by getting bleach on them. Whereas with this one, because I love it, but because I haven't paid a lot of money for it, if I don't worry too much about what I'm doing. So it's one of those skirts that I can definitely wear when I'm doing some of the more messy chores, without sort of panicking, and I can still feel very summery and very, very, very feminine in it. It's an absolutely beautiful skirt. It sparks joy in me. It just screams summer. I could maybe get away with it on a nice sunny autumn day as well, because it's the colours. I think it would look very good with a sort of long sleeved green top maybe. Anyway, that wasn't too bad. It's done. Okay. Oh, pyjamas. I'm going to do them next. I do prefer ironing pretty things, but these pyjamas need an iron running over them, so let's get them ironed. These are my husband's pyjamas, and actually the way the weather is this morning, it's definitely got that autumn feel to it, that back to school feel. This feels a little sad actually, getting up this morning. We've got up to so many absolutely beautiful mornings recently. It feels like it will go on forever, and then you get up this morning and it's quite grey. It looks quite stormy out there. There's definitely a change in the weather in the UK today. It feels a little sad, but then there's lots of things to look forward to as well. I really hope that the weather doesn't go off too much, because I've got my daughter and her boyfriend and her dogs coming for the weekend. And it'd be really nice to get outside and really get to enjoy the weather. I feel like every time that they come to Norfolk, particularly when she brings him, the weather's always bad, and yet we have really good weather, mainly in Norfolk. We had a fantastic last month, and I'd really like him to come to Norfolk when the weather's good. Otherwise, his impression of Norfolk is a bit dull compared to him. Maybe, if you see Norfolk when the sun's shining, it's such a beautiful place to be. But anyway, let's just hope we get some sunshine over the weekend, so he can see Norfolk looking its best. Right, okay, I'm just ironing my little camisole. That was a nice easy one. This is really good actually. I've done loads. So I've been ironing for 10 minutes, and actually I did deal with laundry first, didn't I? And I've actually done 5 items, so keep going. Oh my goodness, there's still quite a lot in the basket though. I think it's going to take more than one session. Okay. I'm most definitely, I would say my favourite seasons are spring. I love spring. In fact, once we're past Christmas and you start to see the snowdrops, I feel very sort of, oh, spring is on its way. I get quite excited. I think being a gardener, my favourite seasons are spring, summer and autumn, because I spend lots of time in the garden. Winter, some years, winter, sometimes I struggle with winter. It's a lot better now that since we've extended the house, we have a warm place in the house. I think before we had that, I did find winter here quite hard because the old part of the house is very cold in winter. Absolutely wonderful in summer, really beautiful in summer because it's quite cool. But in winter it was very cold, and I'm not good with the cold. I find it hard to garden in winter because I get really cold extremities. So I can only garden sort of for 5 or 10 minutes at a time when it's cold. But I find I use a timer, and you can still apply the same sort of principles in the garden as we apply in the home. Because sometimes it's just good to get something done, and I think it's quite good for your mental health to get outside. It is for me. To get something done, you feel a sense of achievement. Other than, I really like being in the garden, but I do struggle in winter. Luckily, I do have an indoor garden, which keeps me sane through winter. So I can look after all my houseplants and get some sunlight. Anyway, autumn's an okay season. I used to, when my children were younger, I absolutely used to love autumn. I used to love sort of going into sort of warmer clothes. Boots, oh my goodness, I used to get so excited about autumn because you could wear boots, whereas in summer. Whereas now I live in trainers most of the time. So I find I prefer summer. Bare legs, skirts, dresses sometimes. I'm not into dresses at the moment, I'm more into skirts at the moment. I go through phases. But then once the weather cools down, I'll be into dungaree dresses, leggings, and boots. So there's always something to look forward to. I've kind of got used to being in summer clothes now, so it'll be a bit of a shock when we have to go into cold weather clothes. It has been lovely having the warmer weather. Anyway, which season of the year do you prefer? What's your favourite season? If I had to choose an absolute favourite, which is quite a tricky one, I would say probably spring is my favourite because it's so full of promise. And the garden is so lush in spring. The green is a very fresh green, whereas if you look out now, I've just looked out at the trees, everything is very dark green and quite heavy and quite foreboding almost, especially when the sky is black. You sort of think, we're going to get a storm and the leaves are all going to blow down, and is the tree going to fall down? Whereas spring is just so fresh. I love the fresh greens in spring. And I love spring bulbs. It's just such an exciting time of year. I think autumn is not as exciting now that I don't have younger children at home. I think I used to find autumn quite exciting because the children would get excited about going back to school. And there was all the excitement of shopping for the back to school shoes, which could be stressful as well as exciting. But there was an element of excitement. The children used to enjoy that. It was sad as well. But by the time they'd been on holiday for 6 or 7 weeks, they were ready, I think, to go back and see all their friends. Because we used to, when the children were little, we used to stay away for a lot of the summer. So we would camp when they were young. We had a tent and then we had a caravan. So we would be away from home quite a bit. So I think by the end of the summer, they were ready. And I was probably ready. Yeah, it was a mixed feeling. Sadness, because we'd usually had a nice summer and we'd all got used to being at home and we'd all got very chilled. But then also excitement of what the sort of new term would bring. I think that autumn-winter term is quite an exciting one for children because particularly at primary school level, lots happening at school. Lots of excitement and energy. Yeah. So autumn doesn't really have that effect on me anymore. I suppose it's quite enjoyable to light the log burner again, but actually it doesn't seem that long since we didn't only a month. We had it lit in May and June. It was so cold here. So we haven't had really a long enough break for it. So I'm really hoping we get like what they call an Indian summer, where we don't need to light the log burner and it stays warm. We had that last year, and I think we may have had it the year before, and it was really nice. Still in summer skirts in October, so that's what I'm hoping for. A nice warm September, October, mild. The other thing I do like about autumn is buying bulbs. I'm looking forward to getting some bulbs. Oh no, how can the time have gone already? Stop. I do like this time. This is my one. I've treated myself to some new timers several weeks ago, and initially I thought that they weren't working. I thought that they were broken, and I actually contacted Amazon to send them back. But actually I've kind of got the hang of them now. They're just not as intuitive as my old timers. And one of them is faulty, the button sticks, but I decided to just put up with it, because rather than the hassle of having to send it back. So I'm managing okay with them. Oh, I'm going to just iron my sun hat. Now I've got a dilemma. Do I set a timer for another 15 minutes and finish the ironing? You know, I'd quite like to finish it. Now I've actually got going, I'd like to finish it. It's still really early in the morning. I don't want to do anything noisy, and I'd like to finish my coffee as well. So I might just be naughty and reset my timer. Just because I feel like it, but I don't have to. But now I've got going, I'm quite energised. I'd really like to finish this. Right, there's my... Well, this hat seems to be getting in the wash basket a lot. I've been doing a lot of gardening. And a white hat's not probably the best choice, is it, really, in the garden? But it is very practical, this hat. It does keep the sun off my hair and my face to a degree. And actually, white's a reflective colour, so it probably is a good choice. Just it gets very dirty. I think if it was a darker colour, it would get hotter. Oh my goodness. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Do any of you use laundry sheets? I was reading something online about laundry sheets and how they're better in lots of ways. They're supposed to be better for your health than probably the detergents that I use. I've used the same washing powders for a long time. I'm kind of stuck in a washing powder rut, I think. But have you ever used laundry sheets? Because I have never used laundry sheets. I don't know even if you can buy them in our local shops. I haven't actually ever noticed them. Would I have to buy them online? But do you have any experience of using laundry sheets? I've just managed to spill all my washing powder in the utility room. I was putting the washing machine on and I made a right mess. I was thinking actually laundry sheets would be easier. Oh my goodness, I've got a duvet to iron. Do you know, I think I might leave that to last. I just can't face that yet. I might not iron it at all. Anyway, let's keep going with t-shirts. If you're still with me, well done. I hope you're managing to get something done while you're listening to me. Are you an ironer? Do you iron or are you at a stage in life where you tumble, or I don't know, or just like I used to be, you don't even bother, just sling it all back in the drawers and hope nobody notices, which actually they rarely did. I worked for about 10 years and didn't iron. I was an ironer. I'd been an ironer for a long time, and then I was at an evening event. So it was actually a book group with some local women, and we were just chatting about chores and stuff. And we were talking about ironing, and I was just saying I had to do a lot of ironing. And a couple of them said they never ironed. They didn't. And I said, well, what do you do? They said, we just give it a quick shake when it comes out of the washing machine, and we stick it on a hanger or an airer, and that's it. And then when it's dry, it goes away. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. So I thought, I'll give it a try. And you know, after that, I didn't iron for 10 years. I was busy, I was working, I had children at home, and it saved me a lot of time and stress, because I used to feel guilty for not having done the ironing. I used to iron the children's school uniform when they were really little. I must admit, when they were really little, it was cute. The uniforms were so sweet. But actually, when I read the label on these uniforms, they were non-iron. They didn't need ironing. Why on earth was I ironing them? I think it was literally that I had been programmed from very young that you iron things. My mum ironed a lot of things, and I'd just grown up with her ironing. So yes, I stopped ironing. I realised that a lot of stuff that I had been ironing didn't need ironing. And I could just give it a quick shake, stick it on a hanger, and it was fine. And to be fair, when children wear things literally for 2 minutes and then they're back in the laundry basket. So it was quite unrewarding. Well, oops, I think I might need to put that on a hanger. It keeps falling off the area, it's quite slippy. And then put this one on the bottom. And we get in there, let's just pan back. Oh, this is a really nice coloured pile of ironing, white and pink. My 2 favourite colours for summer. As you can see, it's mainly my things that I'm ironing. I think I iron now because I like my clothes ironed. I'm doing it for myself. So I made the choice now that things are less hectic and that I've got more time and that I've got this lovely, I think this laundry room is what made the difference. Before that, it was very hit and miss. But now that I've got the ironing board set up, I find it quite relaxing to iron, quite therapeutic. If I wasn't chatting to you, I'd be watching a film or a series on Netflix. I usually try and pick something funny, but sometimes I watch a drama. But I find if I watch something funny, or particularly something that maybe my husband wouldn't enjoy, something more that I would enjoy, or a chick flick, it just makes it a fun activity. Or sometimes I watch stuff on YouTube, educational stuff, or stuff about diet and exercise, which I'm very into. Find it a fascinating subject. So yeah, just because I don't think you don't need all your bandwidth to iron, do you? It's something you can do while you're watching TV or listening to the radio or listening to a podcast. It's kind of, I think I probably iron on autopilot now. I've been doing it for so long. All right, let's pop that on there. Oh, I can see the bottom of the laundry basket. Woohoo! I think a lot of housework tasks you can do on autopilot once you make them a sort of routine. I think that is one of the principles really of the Fly Lady system, is that establishing these little routines so you don't have to make decisions, you don't have to think about them. So I have lots of laundry routines. Let's talk about those. So my laundry routines are, if there's enough laundry in either of my baskets, so I have 2 baskets, I have 2 laundry baskets, one for white things or light colours, which fills up pretty regularly at this time of year because there's a lot of light colours, and I have another laundry basket for dark colours. And if either of those baskets has enough in it to do a load of laundry, then I do a load of laundry. That is the trigger. So I check them every day as part of my morning routine. And then if either of them have got enough in, I do a load. The other thing is I do the towels a couple of times a week, because particularly at this time of year when we haven't got any heating on, the towels from the showers, after a couple of days, they can get a bit they're not getting dried out properly because there's no heating on in the bathroom. So I tend to wash them at least once a week, ideally twice a week. Probably it's more like twice a week, to be honest, because I do like clean towels when I get out of the shower. Alright, I've got this chicken pinny to iron. What's my other laundry routine? So then I put my load of laundry on the washing machine, switch it on, and then I will probably come in here and then I will probably fold laundry. And I may take some laundry upstairs. I take laundry through to the kitchen and push it away. But every single day I have a laundry routine where I deal with laundry for at least 15 minutes. It doesn't usually take, because I do it every day, it doesn't usually take more than 15 minutes unless I'm ironing. And then I will iron probably at least 2 or 3 times a week. And the trigger to the ironing is how much ironing there is to do. So if the laundry basket is full, I've got 2 ironing baskets here, and usually I will try and do it when the first basket is full. Obviously I want there to be enough ironing that it's actually worth switching the iron on. So I'll usually wait till the first basket is full. Occasionally I'll do it before, but not very often. Sometimes I have 2 full baskets. Once I've got 2 full baskets, there's nowhere else to put the ironing other than just put it away unironed. So that's the trigger. So if there's 2 baskets here, I would definitely have to iron in my head. That's how it triggers me. So that's part of my routine. Another part of my routine is putting laundry away. So again, to make it easier, I split that down into chunks. So every day, if there's a full, but I have baskets in here, they're over there at the moment, But if one of those baskets is full, those put away baskets, that is the trigger that I need to take it either upstairs or through to the kitchen, wherever it needs to go to be put away. And again, that's probably happens each day. There'll be a full basket that I need to take to where it needs to be put away. That's the first part of the routine. It may not actually get put away straight away, but it has moved from the laundry room to the place where it needs to go. And then the next thing the presence of it in that position. So say I'll take it upstairs, pop it on my bed, and then I won't necessarily put it away straight away. Sometimes I will, but quite often I'll say to myself when I'm working, say at the top of the hour or something, I'll think, I'll take a break from working as I work on my laptop. I've been sitting down far too long. I'm going to make myself a coffee. I'm going to set a timer and I'm going to go and put that laundry away. So then I'll run upstairs or walk upstairs, set a timer for 5 minutes, because it doesn't usually take more than 5 minutes to put laundry away. And I'll put the laundry away. And in fact, sometimes it just takes 3 minutes because I've timed it. But once the laundry is actually upstairs and in the bedroom, then putting the laundry away is quite a simple task. But I find it really helps me to split each task into chunks. And that way, it just breaking it up, this seems less overwhelming. I've been using that technique with most things in my life now for a long time, probably at least 20 years. Basically, since I discovered the Fly Lady system, which is the whole system is basically about chunking it, making it manageable. So taking a big task and making it into smaller tasks. Oh golly, I'm going to have to re-iron that one. That's not looking good. And that's what I absolutely love about the system. It makes everything seem less overwhelming, and I'm trying to make it fun as well. So, I'll set a timer and I'll race the timer, or planning a reward after you've done something. So after I've done when I'm halfway through my weekly home blessing, I'll plan if it's summer to go and sit outside, sit in the sun with a cup of coffee on a sun lounger and just relax or read a book. Just something that feels a bit frivolous, something that you might normally feel guilty doing if you've got loads of jobs that need doing. But it's important to take breaks. It's important to reward yourself, and it's also important to celebrate your achievements. And even little achievements. It doesn't have to be big achievements. Just actually getting a load of laundry done, getting your laundry in off the washing line if you hang your washing out before it rains. That is an achievement. And for me today, I am celebrating. I got to the bottom of the laundry basket. Woohoo! I have a ira full of laundry that's drying. Oh my goodness, am I going to iron this duvet that I shoved over here? I'm going to have a look at it. It's not a great duvet cover. I don't even like this duvet cover. Is it wet? Oh, it's got a big stain on it as well. Do you know what? I'm not going to iron this duvet cover. I've just remembered why we still have this duvet cover. It's a really old one. And when it's really hot and we don't want to sleep under a duvet, we sleep under this duvet cover and we just use it as like a sheet. But actually, it's definitely seen better days. It must be 20 years old, that duvet cover. I'm not going to iron it. It's not even a 100% cotton one. So I'm going to empty the iron so it doesn't end up full of dirty water. And I've actually finished early. It's just, always remember to empty your iron. It's a really, really important tip. If I sometimes forget, you can end up with horrible, dirty black water inside your iron, which then stains your clothes, which is really not nice. And once you've got the mould growing in the iron, it's quite difficult to get rid of. Other than letting it dry out and just hope it goes away, it's a problem. It can ruin your iron. Right, okay, that's there. I've got a couple of minutes left. You know what? I might water some of my houseplants and give them a feed. Since I've got 3 minutes left, I'm just going to water my houseplants. It gets very hot and dry in here, and this one looks like it might be dying. All right, look at this. This is not looking good. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's give it a drink. What else? I've got another houseplant in here. I don't know whether I can get to it. This one does get a little neglected because of its positioning. Let me just get rid of these bits in the bin. This poor plant, it's actually, luckily, it's very, very, very resilient. Right, it's behind here. Oh my goodness, up there, can you see it? I don't know if you can. Let's give it a drink. will really appreciate it, hopefully. I could really do with getting the plant down and giving it a proper drink. Oh, God, I think I might have overdone it. I think I might leave that, actually. I've just managed to fill it with water. Let's see if it sucks it up. Otherwise, I'll have to come and take some of that water out later. That's strange. I think what must have happened is that the soil has shrunk away from the side of the pot. So when I watered it, it's just gone straight through. Just going to have a slurp of coffee. And just put my utility room back together. All right, I'll just go into here and just give these plants a little drink. Oh, there's my 1 minute warning. I've got quite a bit of a plant area going on in here. So I think this is my little reward. My little reward for finishing the ironing is I'm going to give these plants a drink because they're looking a bit thirsty. I love this plant. This is such a great plant for the kitchen because we have it on top of the fridge. And it is getting a bit big for its pot, but look at that, we bought it as a tiny little plant and it just trails down over there. And in fact, it's had some babies. My husband has propagated it. And here its baby, here's one of its babies. So I'm going to water that. But it's really good, it's very drought resistant, this plant, so it's a good house plant. Oops. And I have another one up here. Here we go. This one is a relative. It's not the same variety, but it's very similar. Oh, there goes the timer. But they've really appreciated having a drink. They were looking a bit droughted. And put them back up. I'll just pan back so you can see them. They're all on a high shelf up here, and they trail down. These are really some of my favourite houseplants. This might give you a drink. You're looking a bit thirsty. Oh, I better not water the orchid. There's another one over here. I'll give that a drink. And I'll give that one a drink. And then I've used all my water. Good, I'm done. Okay. Have to be careful not to overwater the orchids because it's so easy to overwater them. I think I may have done recently. Let's stop that timer. Can we reset it? Yes, so it's ready for next time. Right, okay, thank you for joining me. All my ironing is done. I'm going to go and start my morning routine now. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my videos. You're finding them motivating. And that they're inspiring you to get some things done around the house and maybe to look into the Fly Lady system, find out a bit more about that because I must admit I do find that a massive help to me to keep me sane doing my housework. Anyway, if you're enjoying the videos, please like, comment. Any feedback's always appreciated. Any questions, I'm always happy to answer and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Bye for now.